My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California.
All right, it is currently 7:17 a.m. and the mental health patient Tracy Lemire Banks, who is engaged in heavy witchcraft, is also engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring, which is the criminal engagement and of surveillance by the government that is engaging in witchcraft. And the prosecution of the state of California is the ability to prosecute the government that is practicing satanic methods of criminal targeting. And Tracy Banks is engaging in it while she's gang stalking inside of her apartment, where at 7:17 a.m., where she is on surveillance cameras at Woodside Senior Apartments, a facilitating venue, not a private residence, where the government's engaging in criminal surveillance in concert with the civilian population that's residing at the venue, which is speaking to what is a massive system of targeting that the City of Ontario, Paul Leon, the police department, all of the departments in the City of Ontario, the government departments, are gang stalking with Tracy. Who is a third party. And as she walks out, engineered light swipes across her ceiling, which is a very heavily pattern of conduct documented inside of this apartment. And it's a heavily documented pattern of conduct with regard to stalking with light, which is very demonic and it's absolutely criminal. It's actually documentation of what is prosecution for terrorism and psychological torture. And it is incriminating all of Tracy's co-defendants who currently reside in all the surrounding apartments where they are gang stalking me together and psychologically torturing as one. Where they are committed to this criminal pattern of conduct. And that is also proven because this is the same apartment complex. This same apartment is where the fake sun rises, as I documented at 7:22 a.m. just the other day. And also last night, as you could see the documentation on April 11th, 2025, where you will see the fake sun after 6:30 p.m. on merely what is just the right side of my person, meaning at the same front door, you're just looking to the opposite side of where the sun was documented rising. This is the apartment where all of her co-defendants are going to prison and mental asylums with her. Mental illness is proven, demonstrated, exhibited while the entity, the demons, are stalking. And while they are stalking as an entity, while they are stalking maliciously, and while they are stalking in demonic ways, such as impossible light activity, which is a proven fact. Tracy Banks is also a delusional psychopath who is severely mentally disabled. And so she has engaged in criminal defamation, which is nothing other than a demon-possessed person projecting her mental illness onto me, where she is targeting me because she wants to be me, because she is envious of my intellectual capacity. She's envious of my life's decisions. She's envious of literally the way that I breathe, the way that I blink, the way that I walk, the way that my toes and my feet touch the ground. She is also one who is severely insecure. And while I laugh at the fact that she has multiple girdles, while she has sought to engage in what is very unpersuasive, absolutely ridiculous, as she has projected her weight issues on me, and as she enters and exits like she is right now in engineered light swipes across her ceiling. This is a psychopath who is pacing in the environment where she knows that she's being documented in real time, and all of her co-defendants are gang stalking with her while she is monitoring by virtue of walking in and out of the apartment, turning the kitchen light on and off, exhibiting severe mental illness in doing so. What is it, 9HUZ740? Yeah, that's the psychopath that's monitoring while evidence is being documented in real time. And you can hear her in the background. She is indeed engaging in that pattern of conduct. She is doing so with impunity. And this is the very evidence that's going to be used to diagnose her, to treat her, because Tracy Banks is going to a mental asylum. So are her co-defendants, namely the demons in Unit 41 Everyone over the age of 18 is indeed going to a mental asylum. And the demon in unit number 55, she is going to a mental asylum based on their demonstration of severe mental instability, in the same way that Tracy Banks has. She just engaged in what is pacing in and out of the apartment. You saw on video, orange colored engineer light illuminating the apartment, moving across the ceiling, while the fake sun was on the outside of the apartment, on the east side of the apartment, in no position where any sunlight would appear on the ceiling. It's in no position where the sun could even be, while it is at the same time, like I documented, April 10th, 2025. April 10, 2024, while I'm comparing those two dates, because the fake sun was rising outside of my Los Angeles apartment facing the hillside. This is where a demon who you just heard in the background knows that I'm speaking to her severe insecurities. She projects her weight issues, her insecurities onto me. And this is where the entity is monitoring you. Things that do not apply, such as being overweight. I've never been, and God bless those who have weight issues. But I'm talking about the demon-possessed sex offenders who are gang stalking, like the chubby third party Shanita Ramaya McLean, who was very highly insecure, has her entire life had weight issues, and has concealed what is secret hatred of me. Tracy Banks, who has had weight issues her entire adult life, literally, I suppose since she had children, she is still engaging in what is suffering from weight issues, and she projects her insecurities onto me, and I have never had that. And this is not to make myself, I'm talking about gang stalkers right now. I am not talking about anyone else. These are people who are severely malicious and psychopathic and envious, jealousy, which is a spirit. And I am speaking to their real life issues, which has gotten them into serious trouble with regard to a prosecution, when all they needed to do is get on a diet and control their eating habits, as opposed to gang stalking someone that they want to be. This is what's wrong with Tracy Banks, who paced inside of the apartment with regard to monitoring evidence and with regard to exhibiting severe mental instability, speaking to what is her gang stalking conduct that she's engaged in all day long, by the way. She's not ceasing to be a part of the enemy entity. She's not ceasing to be a part of the pattern of conduct, because that demon walks out of the apartment, just like you witnessed on April 10th, 2025, when she walks out and her gang stalking neighbors in unit number 56, with the third party male who is in relevant position. They are acting together as one, engaging in what is teamwork with regard to maintaining the elements of monitoring. So this psychopath is pacing in and out while she opens the door, and gray colored engineer light illuminates the apartment and covers the ceiling, and she walks in, turns on the kitchen light, walks to her bedroom. This demon did not forget anything. This demon is aware of everything that I'm stating. This demon is both humiliated, and she's also seething. She's also irate. She's hostile. She is furious while I'm exposing her and embarrassing her while prosecuting her at the same time. And as I prosecute her, I'm prosecuting AVANATH Capital Management, which is prosecuting the people of the state, which is prosecuting the state of California. Okay. So this is all speaking to the entity that is, again, very insecure and has been projecting her overweight issues onto me, which, again, in the same way that you cannot criminally defame someone that's prosecuting you with the evidence of your mental illness, you are not projecting your insecurities regarding the fact that you've been overweight for over 20 years. And that has something that is shared amongst the women in my quote unquote family. Again, I am the one that I don't suffer these issues. And this is part of the reason why I've also been targeted. This is very petty. It's very superficial. It's very vain. But these are the conditions. This is the state. This is the mindset of the demon possessed who are in my bloodline, who are also gang stalking me and have been concealing hatred for me my entire life. Okay. So Tracy Banks, who is indeed an overweight, and she's also an elder who would like to be 20 years younger, who would like to make up series of different decisions, but she does not have that. She's not built that way. She made a lot of decisions based on things which there's no excuse for being a criminal, for being a sex offender, for being a stalker, for being a psychopath who is, again, malicious, not insane, such that she doesn't recognize what is demented about her conduct. This is somebody that seeks to get away with what she knows very well is perverted, what is criminal, what is wrong, what is unacceptable if she were to openly discuss it. That's a psychopath, okay? That's what is pasted inside of this living room right now. And the entity is gang stalking with that psychopath, and they share that psychopathic personality disorder, they're engaging in the same exact pattern of conduct. So while Tracy Banks, license 9HUZ740, paces inside of the apartment, understand that this is documentation of evidence, and this is somebody that is knowingly doing so, monitoring, gang stalking, with the intent to harass and terrorize and threaten. That is a stalker who is telling you to your face by their conduct that they're going to continue stalking you and monitoring you, and also will do it in your face in concert with an entity, as though there are no consequences. That's not going to be missed in each and every one of their prosecutions, including Tracy Banks, who is requiring mental asylum for the rest of her natural life, however much longer she has, because she's been practicing witchcraft and engaging what are unsuccessful death spells against me. It is currently 7:26 a.m. This is the entity that is engaging in terrorism via impossible light again, because the demon that is very much insecure and is failing in every way, as she is always projecting her mental illnesses and every other illness that she suffers from onto me, and then engages in what is psychological torture tactics, such as terrorizing me because I laugh at Satan in response to that. And what is the result? The prize is she's going to a mental asylum. It is currently 7:26 a.m. This is AVANATH Capital Management's prosecution for terrorism, stalking with light. It's happening inside of AVANATH Capital Management Woodside Senior Apartments apartment, where an American citizen is being gang stalked and psychologically tortured, subject to domestic terrorism by the government inside of its apartment building. AVANATH is going to be prosecuted, and you heard AVANATH's co-defendant pace in and out of this apartment, monitoring. That is AVANATH exhibiting impunity along with its co-defendant, where you are conspiring with the entity to gang stalk one person together. They did so against the person who was also their prosecutor. That's how bright Tracy Banks, who was insecure with her weight issues, while the entity is gang stalking with the likes of this, again, high school graduate. It is currently 7:27 a.m. on April 12, 2025. Again, Tracy Banks' license plate is 9HUZ740. She speaks, an unintelligent speaker, but she speaks as the entity. She acts as the entity. That's the purpose of gang stalking. They act through one, they act through all on a ceaseless basis at a facilitating venue. And the entity is going to be prosecuted based on that malice. It is 7:28 a.m. This is P.O.C.